All right, so I just got a peek at Obsidian and Pan African Strikes Back on this panel. I can't think of the young lady's name at the moment, but Obsidian was just saying why he wouldn't really go with blue collar women because Brandon raised a good point. He was like, why can't you just go with women that are on your level like that? And Obsidian was like, I don't want those women. I want. But the thing that Obsidian fails to understand is the women that he wants, they have taste, they have preferences too. Preferences isn't just a one-way street at the end of the day. Preferences works both ways. So, if the woman that you may like or have a desire for isn't that crazy about you, guess what? Your preference is just one way. She doesn't feel the same way about you. She doesn't think that you're the cat's meow. She doesn't see you as the hottest thing on the stove. But your old man wants to have these rants, yell and scream over people and say this and that and call himself a conservative. And Brandon had a good point about, conservative as in, marriage and all that. And Obsidian is a confirmed bachelor, but yet he's conservative. Which just leads me to believe that, some of these brothers that claim they're quote unquote conservative are just conservatives of convenience. They're just conservatives just to troll and draw the ire of black women in cyberspace. That's it. If you used to ask them specific questions about Republicans and all that other stuff relating to their politics, they ain't gonna be able to answer those questions. But if you used to draw it around black women, oh, watch, they'll have a whole lot to say. Not knowing that the whole ideal and ideology behind that is not as cut and dried as it appears. Now, I'm basically talking about the politics of it because what the average layman doesn't understand is that when it comes to certain things like, Democrats and Republicans, there are different kinds of Republicans. There, different kinds of conservatives and whatnot. Now I think in Old Man and Brandon to a degree, Pan African Strikes Back is talking about social conservatism. They're not talking about political conservatism because in real life I know some white conservatives. They may be conservative in their politics, but they're liberal in their sexual activities, we'll just say that. But still, some of these cats I really don't take seriously. And Obsidian, I don't take even more so serious after what he said, and that's not to blast or say that he can't have his preferences, but at the same time, Obsidian, he should realize that preferences are a two-way street at the end of the day. And, Pan African Strikes Back has a point because most rich dudes, they have, dated or married down. That's how some women become wealthy and whatnot, Yeah, not too many people marry into their class. But when you have women prefer to date up. They don't date down. Now, they will have a booty call with somebody that's not in their income level and all that. But when it comes to a long-term thing, not really. I mean, that's rare. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm just saying they ain't gonna, settle down and have a long term with somebody that's below their income level. That's just not happening. And Obsidian claiming to be the very stat person that he is, and intelligent and more knowledgeable than this person and that person, and a very vocal and outspoken individual of the manosphere. He fails to realize this, but I think he does. And I think he's just acting and doing the same antics and routine because he's just playing a character at this point. So people expect Obsidian to be that instead of just acquiescing to the points that are being made and just talking over. Because I think when he does talk over certain people, it's pretty much conveying that that other person is right about what they're saying, and that Obsidian, there's some flaws in Obsidian's talking points. We'll just say that, but I just find the whole thing ridiculous because, Brandon, makes a suggestion and you pretty much just decide to torpedo that and say, oh, I don't want that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the blue collar women that or that in your immediate proximity. You don't speak for all of them at the end of the day. And two, there's some women that you may have to, if you want them on your level, you're going to have to teach them. You're going to have to prep them to get to your level instead of wanting a ready-made. That's, because in a way you're acting the equivalent of how some woman would act. So that is just my thoughts on that particular situation. I really wasn't going to talk about it, but somebody in my comment section on one of my community tab posts mentioned it. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on that. So tell me, audience, what do you think? We're at the 7-minute mark. This is Iron Will Media.